Greetings, YouTube. It's hard to believe, but it's already been a couple months since I did a global chat and drinks night. If you missed those, they're really just about the fun in the moment. Like, I still post the video, and sometimes those kind of videos are lucky to get triple-digit views. But regardless, it's just fun to have people think that, like, I'm not real. You know you're a D-list celebrity when someone thinks that you're not the real person of yourself. But then again, when you see versions of yourself where people have made accounts with like 1F or they put PROF period, which technically is more grammatically correct than my own account because professor is short for, or prof is short for professor and Hoff is short for Hoffman. Fun fact. I've also learned in those nights with the, shall we say, weird censorship that like you can type up words that probably are a little, shall we say, edgy. But then you can type words that are nice, or at least neutral, and they come up as pound signs. That is extremely bizarre, very strange, very questionable. And yet that's the reality of what we're dealing with. So I've always wondered, like, how do they even determine the censorship? Well, turns out that the censorship is determined in a very weird and kind of dangerous way for free speech, at least. And I get that it's a private company, so free speech really isn't protected free speech like it is in, say, other parts of the world or other avenues in the world. Like if somebody bans you on social media, it's a private company. Technically, they can do what they want. But it can be a scary thing to see what speech gets banned. Well, in this way, he says, my name is censored and global. Gingerbread Monster says, it doesn't mean it should be censored because modern religious doesn't need to be discussed in this game is my assumption. So in this particular case, we're talking about the word Bible. Obviously, a very famous, I think it's the #1 book in human history, regardless of whether or not you believe the contents inside of it. It is a bestseller. It's a New York Times bestseller before New York or even the Times existed. So Wicked says, I think the real question is, why is anybody still using global? Now, look, global is still the best way, even though it's still highly counterproductive to find people for your alliance. So I definitely don't blame him there. But Kabam Mike says the program that powers our chat system, which definitely feels like it's from like 1985, uses context and reputation to choose what, when to censor. That feels like it's straight out of 1985. Not gonna lie. When you use context and reputation, I don't even know what that means. Like imagine if I gave a student like a C on a paper. They're like, why did you give me a C? Context and reputation. What does that even mean? You just can't be a noob. You got to figure it out yourself. You got to know what that means because I'm not going to explain it to you because clearly it's a higher level of thinking and you just need to get to my level. This means that somebody that has been consistently more negative or disruptive, I guess that means an account, will be more heavily scrutinized than others. The program is also always learning, which tells me it's some version of AI, artificial intelligence, and finding new terms and words that are used negatively. It also tries to figure out when certain words or phrases are used in certain contexts. In other words, we don't have the manpower or the finances to have like a human patrol this, so we're going to try to have a computer program or robot or whatever you want to call it, and hopefully it does its best. By the way, right after this, Kabam Mike dropped the literal mic and closed the discussion. I get why companies do this. Surely this company that does this for Kabam does this in other games, right? Like there might just be a company to go. Maybe that's a great invention. The next better AI detector, or when I think of censorship, I think like of a referee in a sporting event, busting out a yellow or red card, or throwing a flag, blowing a whistle, whatever you want to call it with referees. I haven't seen in the history of doing this though, and I've been doing this for about 5 years, a post that is so, well, direct towards this issue. So that's good to know. And I think we're learning a lot about the intricacies of this censorship. But the forum censorship system being revealed, that's a new one. And yet, we have this forum post. So Do you think it's a good system? Do you think nobody should? Do you think global chat should even be around? Should just close it? Because clearly you're a noob if you go to global chat, or maybe you're drinking some wine like me. I don't know. Either way, I look forward to reading the comments on this. Thanks for watching.